Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Facebook Let Love In Live New Year's edition. So good to be here with you if you are here right now. Hi, ladies showing up, and also inviting in anyone who's going to be watching later, doing this ritual later in the week. So, welcome. I invite you to grab your journal. Make sure you have something to write with, and if you want to grab a cup of tea, go ahead. I've got some hot chocolate. What I'm going to be doing today is going through a ritual where we're going to reflect on the past year. We're going to come up with our biggest takeaways from the past year, and we're going to do a little gratitude practice around that. And then we're going to move into a little bit of a more expanded form of intention setting. Hi, Jen, so good to see you. So we'll do an intention setting little ceremony, and then we'll choose a word for the year. This is a practice that I really, really love to do, and so I'll kind of guide us through choosing a word for the year. So it'll be just this beautiful little 30-minute ritual, so grab your journal if you don't have it already, and then get settled in. So we're going to start by moving the hips. I'm going to invite you to move your hips in a figure 8, in that infinity spiral. So you might be standing, feeling your feet rooted in the earth, or you might have your sit bones on the floor or in the chair, feeling yourself rooted down and just spiraling your hips in this infinity motion. And this just tells our body we're here. Tells the mind we can calm down, we can arrive, we can be here. It lets the nervous system actually settle. So a lot of the times we have this very subtle nervous energy going, and this spiral motion of the hips actually will relax the nervous system. And let's take our hands to our shoulders and giving ourselves a little hug, a little massage to our arms and our shoulders, just a little bit of self-love, and also helping us feel the body, be in the body. Rubbing your thighs a few times. Arriving and settling and allowing any awarenesses that may have been put outside of you to begin to be drawn back into the center. And I invite you to say out loud, I am here now, as a proclamation of your commitment to being here, to being in the body, to being present right now. So this may feel weird, this could feel funny, this could feel a little bit itchy, but I invite you to really start trying to say this out loud. I am here now. So I invite you to begin by reflecting on where you were at this time last year. Where were you at this time last year? And who were you with? And how did you feel and what was going on? And we're just noticing, just bringing our awareness to this, and begin to remember through that winter. So moving from January into February, what was going on with you in the winter of 2018? What do you remember? What happened? What significant changes might there have been? What challenges, what triumphs? And then shifting forward into March and April and getting into the springtime. What was going on for you in March and April of 2018, and then into May, just before the summertime? And then moving into the summer, June, July, August of 2018, where were you? Was school out? Were the kids out? Were you out? Were you on vacation? Remembering what was going on, who you were with, what you were experiencing. And then moving into the fall, shifting seasons again into September and October. Maybe you celebrated Samhain or All Hallows Eve or Halloween. And then we moved into November. What was going in November for all those Scorpio babies and birthdays, fall, and then into December of this very last month, the month that we're leaving behind or left behind. And so thinking about a few of the most significant memories that you're having about this last solar year. And then feel into maybe like the top 3 takeaways that you have from those experiences. So as you're feeling into this and thinking about this, I invite you to start writing down. Write down those significant memories and write down your biggest takeaways. And I'm going to give you some examples of this from my own experience. So in the last year, I made a big move. I was in transition from one country to another country. And my takeaway from that is that I can dive off and not know, I can dive off into the unknown and actually know that it's going to be okay and I'm going to be held with no plan, no direction, nothing other than just following intuition. And I will be taken care of. So that's one of my takeaways. So writing down your top 3 takeaways. So when you have these takeaways and these big experiences written down and remembered, we're going to actually bring our hands to our heart. So all of those things that happen in this last 12 months of the solar year, the last 365 days, all of those challenges and triumphs and transitions, all of it, we're going to take it all into our heart, even the stuff that might still be really raw and really challenging. Bringing it into our heart and imagining all of this as compost, as fecund soil, as fecund potential for what will be growing. All of this, even if we might not understand right now how it is holding us and how it has been working for us. Trusting that all is well and all is welcome. Bringing it all into the heart. And we're just going to say, and I invite you to say it out loud, I am grateful. I am so grateful. And you can add onto the end of this those things that you are grateful for, those big takeaways that you've had. I am grateful for. I am grateful. And really feeling this in your body as you're saying this out loud. I am grateful. Perfect. So knowing that everything that has happened, even if we don't understand why, is actually ultimately serving us in some way. And so we just bring that in with gratitude. And if you don't feel grateful right now, also, that's great. It's perfect where you are. I mean, that is the point of everything, is that all is well, all is welcome. Where we are is exactly where we need to be. So now what we're going to do is shift a little bit, and you can keep writing, you can keep remembering, you can keep practicing gratitude if you want to. And we're going to shift a little bit here into not New Year's resolutions, not New Year's even intentions. I want to bring up this idea of asking questions, and this really serves me in my life. So I have this practice of asking questions, and it sounds like, okay, so let's say I want a beautiful home. Okay, I personally don't have a home right now, and so that sounds amazing to me. And I don't have a home right now, and obviously I might not be supposed to have a home right now. So instead of saying, I intend to have the most beautiful home imaginable for myself for the new year, I would say something like, first I would feel, what would it be like to have a home? What is that feeling that I want the home to give to me? And so you can feel into this for yourself. Is it that perfect job and all the clients and bringing in all the money? Is it your lover? Is it something? What are you wanting? And then feeling, what is the feeling that you feel like you might have if you had that thing? So instead of a resolution like I'm going to do the job I love, I'm going to find the perfect lover, I'm going to have the house of my dreams, we're going to feel, what would it feel like to actually have that thing? So bring up one of your deep desires right now. And then I invite you to breathe into that deep desire and breathe into, what would it feel like to actually have that be true? What does that feel like? So for me, the home is a feeling of just being absolutely settled. Of just being so settled that I could just like melt into the arms of the mother. And so I'm feeling that so deeply. And then I love to ask a question. So I'm going to invite you to start to formulate your New Year's questions. What would it be like to feel so settled and so at home in every moment of 2019? And I invite you to formulate your own question. What would it be like? What would it feel like? What would it look like to And when we ask these questions, we are opening up possibilities beyond what we could even imagine. So in the moment, it might, in my limited, we only use 5% of our conscious mind at any time. 95%, we don't even know what it's doing. So to think that I might know what I really need right now, that I need that home, that I need that physical home, I can feel how that's placing a limitation on me. And so when we ask a question, what would it feel like? What would it be like? What would it look like to be at home in every single moment of 2019? When I put that question out there, I am opening up to vast possibilities that I can't even begin to imagine right now. I can sense it, I can start to feel it, and I can keep cultivating that feeling. And I invite you to keep cultivating that feeling of what that thing is that you want will give you. And I invite you to ask those questions. I invite you to start saying them out loud right now, right here. And you can also type them into the comments here to be witnessed. What would it be like to feel so in love and safe every moment? What would it look like to never feel like I'm doing something wrong ever again? What would it be like to live in absolute harmony? Feeling your questions, feeling the questions that are fueling you right now, writing them down in your journal, writing them out here, or saying them out loud. You know, we can't look to the past for what will be in the future. And so I love this idea of questions for New Year's, because my past is limited. And so we're just opening up to possibilities that we can't even imagine. And I want to shift to one more little tool from here. So I love the idea of choosing a word for a new year. So as an example, the word that I chose last year was mystery. And oh my gosh, like I had no idea what that would actually entail. And it's just so wild. You know, I already mentioned being able to communicate with spirit realms, opening up, veils lifting, you know, being able to communicate with the unseen. I really opened up to the cosmic realms and deepened in my relationship with Mama Gaia. I received spirit animals. I have deepened so much into the divine feminine mysteries, and specifically the womb mysteries and the blood mysteries. And it was just a wild year of mystery, and it still is every moment. But when we choose a particular word, and we're not choosing it from the place of the mind, you know, where we think we know what it's going to look like, we can choose a particular word, and it's going to do something similar to what the questions do, which is just sort of shape our year and give it this sort of almost like a kind of like a container. I sort of see it as a structure to allow the flow to really flow. So I'm going to invite you right now to feel from your intuitive knowing. And so for me, this is in the dantian, which is the womb space. I receive a lot of my answers and knowing from here, from the dantian, the hara. Some people receive their knowing from the heart. Others receive it from their third eye. So just feeling from your intuitive place of knowing, what word is your word for 2019? What word is your word for 2019? And if this feels like a lot of pressure, just shaking it off, not taking it too seriously, allowing something to just bubble up. And noticing what your reaction is to what bubbles up. Do you feel a little bit silly for choosing a particular word, or stupid, or you feel like it's not deep enough, or it doesn't make any sense, and do you resist that? So letting your word come to the surface. And if it isn't a word that feels it's not quite right for you, then I invite you to write the word down, and you can even go and you can check a thesaurus. And you know, this word is kind of like your direction. And so if you had a word come through and you'd like to share it in the comments, I invite you to share your word in the comments. And if you feel like it's not quite the right word and you need some suggestions, you can also write that down and say, I need help with it, and maybe we can, in the group, we can offer some words related to that word that might resonate with you a little bit more. So the way that this works is you're going to want to write this word in your journal, And I also like to put the word on my altar. Or maybe you could put it on like your computer home screen or something like that. So you want to really invite this word to be with you, and to keep working with this word and keep allowing it to work on you at the same time. So honestly, the word that came up for me this year is visibility. And I want to tell you that I'm not super, my ego isn't super happy about that word. You know, it feels like that's kind of a lame word. And I have this idea where I think I know what it means. And so it kind of turns me off from that a little bit. And at the same time, I am trusting that this is the right word for me. And I'm trusting that it's going to do the work and the magic that it needs to. And it might mean something completely different from what I can even conceive of right now. We're going to finish up here today. I invite you to make any last comments that you would like, and when you feel ready, once again, let's bring our hands to our hearts. And let's feel ourselves connecting here in this circle of sisterhood right here, right now. Feeling this connection, feeling us weaving our webs together. Feeling ourselves going into this next solar year, open, ready to receive beyond what we could possibly conceive of, really opening ourselves up to the expansive possibilities of the unknown. Sending yourself some love, taking those hands and feeling it like a hug on yourself. Feeling that selfishness, that prioritizing ourselves, which is so important to fill our own cup so that we can give to others. That feeling of being divinely nurtured. And then holding it up, sending it out. I'm sending this feeling of love and appreciation that I have for all of you and for all of the work that we're all doing on the globe right now. Sending all of us support. I know sometimes it's really intense. So loving you all. Happy, 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 blessed, blessed, blessed New Year. If it's not happy, let it just be what it is. Be with all that is. Loving yourself so deeply in all that you are, in all that arises, in all the darkness, in all the sadness, in all the joy, in all the laughs, in all the cries, in all of it. Loving you.